Boldly go where no man has gone before.
Boldly taking talk radio where it has never gone before. New vistas, new voices, new views, new visions, new victories. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're taking public media black.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss you. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my nip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Aaron. Welcome to The Kind of Love, where we talk about the internal struggles and internal dialogue, the self-talk that's holding us back from getting the kind of love that we're looking for. Have you ever felt just like someone didn't really see you, they didn't really hear you, you felt not valued in a relationship, like no matter what you did, it just wasn't good enough? So what do you do in situations like that when you just are not getting the kind of love you're looking for? You know, I had a friend once where I thought I was being helpful and I was excited for his project that he was making, and I got a lot of resistance back. I got shut down a lot, and I was just really interested in why that kept happening, and I wanted to become aware of that. And so I just straight up asked him, you know, friend, what role do you want me to play in your project? Like, how do you see me as the biggest help in this project? And man, did I get a flood of judgments back from him. Well, Aaron, you do this, that, and the other. You always do this. Careful, by the way, for always sentences or never sentences, right? Those are our like harshest, heaviest judgments. We hold people to their patterns. Anyways, I realized that I wasn't being helpful to him at all. In fact, I was actually being harmful to myself by playing this role that didn't really exist. And by asking him what role he wanted me to play in his project, I really got a sense of how he actually valued me. Like, he didn't really value me much at all. He kind of just wanted me to do grunt work.
Man, oh man, a Shevitz. Tonight's topic, coping with intimate disabilities. And the reason why we, do this little play on words is real simple. Being unseen or feeling unseen in a relationship, that means your partner suffers from a type of intimate blindness. Being unheard in a relationship, that means your partner suffers from a type of intimate deafness. And like I said, the deepest hurt is to be in a relationship and feel single, right? And not only feel single, but feel alone and single. That's a powerful hurt. Tonight's topic, man, we were talking about intimate disabilities. If you want to bring yourself into this national conversation, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Relationships are complex and multifaceted, often requiring effective communication and active listening skills to thrive. However, it is not uncommon for one partner to feel unseen and unheard in the presence of their significant other. Tonight's topic, hour number 2, we aim to explore the potential reasons behind this unfortunate plight of the relationally disabled. I'm relationally disabled. So I'm not finna sit in here and make it seem like I'm the perfect specimen, because I'm not. By delving into various possibilities, we might be able to gain a deeper understanding of the underlying emotional issues, communication skills, personal preoccupations, fears, defense mechanisms, past experiences, coping mechanisms, power dynamics, and differing perceptions that may contribute to this phenomena. One serious aspect that contributes to this phenomena is unresolved emotional issues. It is critical to consider the possibility that your partner may have their own unresolved issues emotionally, internally, that hinder their ability to fully engage in the relationship. These unresolved issues can create emotional barriers, preventing them from truly hearing and or seeing and or understanding your perception. All right? I want y'all to pay attention now. Lack of communication skills. Effective communication is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship. It is plausible that your partner may lack the necessary communicative skills to actively listen and comprehend your viewpoint. This deficit might hinder their ability to engage fully and contribute to the feeling of being unseen and unheard. Personal preoccupations. Individuals can often have their own thoughts, worries, and concerns that distract them from fully focusing on their partner's needs. Well, I truly believe you have to focus on your needs. You have to be the chief proponent of meeting your own needs. And then you can pour a little out of your cup once your cup has been filled by you. I believe that, right? Fear of intimacy or vulnerability. Some individuals may have a fear of intimacy or vulnerability, causing them to shut down and disengage during conversations. This fear might stem from past experiences or a lack of trust, making it super challenging for them to fully engage and listen to their partner, right? Defense mechanisms. In an attempt to protect themselves from emotional pain, some individuals develop defense mechanisms that are designed to dismiss or ignore their partner's feelings and or needs. This defensive posture behavior can contribute to the feeling of being unseen and unheard, right? As their partner's emotions are invalidated and overlooked. Impact of past experiences. Past experiences such as unresolved trauma or attachment issues can significantly impact an individual's ability to connect and listen in a relationship. These experiences may create emotional barriers that hinder their capacity to be fully present and engage with their partner. But let me tell you this. There is no attachment style that is impenetrable, that cannot be reauthored by you. There is no childhood wound that cannot be healed. There is no communication style that cannot be reconciled. See, all of this stuff is soft programming. It might be hurtful, but that is the ultimate purpose of relationships. The ultimate purpose of relationship is to reveal this psychological or psycho-spiritual stuff in your shadow, brings it to the forefront so you can take ownership of it, love on it, and then transmute it into whatever you want it to be. You can go from an anxious, preoccupied attachment style to a secure attachment style. You just got to work at it. Especially if you want love and you want to give love and you want to receive love and you want to be in love and you want to have a healthy relationship, You have to be able to see, right, that this stuff that's coming up is yours to own and yours to reconcile. 1-800-920-1580. Get in here and talk to me. We got JW South Central in the building. Get in here.
Hey, my brother.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? How you doing, my brother?
Man, I'm alive and well. What do you think about tonight's topic, my friend?
Oh, man, it is so awesome, man. Pretty much you said some of the things I wanted to interject, which is, just realizing, that you have to accept things as they are and then love a person where they're at. Now, I'm paraphrasing what you just pretty much stated. And one of my shortcomings when it comes to emotional handicap or being dysfunction, that's a term I like to use all the time.
Well, wait, hold on, JW. Handicap is not the politically correct word to use. It's intimate.
Okay.
You're intimately disabled.
Okay, yes, sir. Well, anyway, as I was about to say, I realized that sometimes I can pretty much be absent-minded and forgetful, and then with my overreactive imagination, which is the flaw, then I can pretty much, what's that term? When you, what's the word? When you destroy something, you self-destruct, or whatever the other word is.
You talking about a self-fulfilling prophecy? You sabotage. There we go. Self-sabotage.
Yeah, self-sabotage. Right.
Okay.
Right. I have to gather my thoughts. But yeah, that's one of my flaws, and I realize that. And then when it comes to another person that may not have the ability to comprehend, or they shut down intentionally for whatever the motives may be, I can misinterpret that and say, well, I'm not an effective communicator. Because at one point when I was younger, I used to be praised by how I can communicate, or a woman gave me a compliment. I was dating that was much older than me. She said, oh, you articulate your point well. And I didn't know the definition of the word articulation, so I had to go look it up. But the point is, I was able to communicate and converse and have an intelligent conversation. And I carried that, I say pride, or, that ability throughout my life. And once I engaged here in present tense, or in real time, years later, I'm realizing I don't have the ability to be as effective as I thought I used to be able to, because I'm not getting the right results. But I realize it's not actually me, it's just the person, because they're up in age and, Alzheimer's or dementia, things of that nature. And I have to catch myself and realize that, hey, you got to love this person where they are. And I think about the fruits of the Spirit in terms of love, joy, peace, and the key word is long suffering. And I have to be kind and goodness and faithful, and have self-control, because I found myself becoming emotionally out of control. So that was one of my weaknesses, and I had to catch myself. But the point I keep wanting to reiterate is, I'll be absent-minded and forgetful, and I repeat the same routine, and I'm wondering, am I insane?
Well, I've been thinking, I've been meaning to ask you if you was insane, since the first time you called in. But guess what? We all a little crazy, brother.
A little dysfunctional. It's called human experience, my brother. But yeah, I had to embrace that and just realize, that I have to, like what Brother Cornell West say, you have to learn to fail and fail better. That's right. The point. Learn to fail and fail better. All right, my brother. Good night.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yes, sir.
What did you just do, JW?
We're in South Central LA.
That's right. LA in the building, South Central. Listen, if you're in Pasadena, if you're in Pomona, if you're in Pacoima, if you're in Long Beach, staying on point, where you at? If you're in Culver City, Inglewood, if you're in DTLA, if You're in Hawthorne, Los Angeles. Show your love for the voice of reason. Get in here, make your presence felt. The phone lines are open, and of course, this is a non-judgmental space, and I want to talk to you.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
Being a man is what you make it. You can't always live up to expectations. You try to please everybody while you struggle, so you fake it and end up out of balance, compromising situations. As a good man, do what he should, man. I give everything he has and do everything he could, man. You might find yourself feeling all alone inside a house you built that you don't recognize as home. And that's what my daddy told me, and I'll tell my son the same. Now that I'm older, I relate and I actually feel his pain. He never cried, he might have lied, but he did not complain. And he said, son, one day you'll have to do the same. I get emotional when I stop and think and I look around beyond the county lines of my small town. I think about all the men out there who feel like I do now, who are screaming on the inside but won't ever make a sound. I can't hide myself.
I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain.
Brainy Dose presents 6 warning signs your emotional needs are not met in a relationship. Everyone has different priorities when it comes to relationships. Whether you want someone who can give you great advice or make you laugh during tough moments, you have expectations. Once you get to know someone who meets those expectations, you might think you've got it all. And while your partner's qualities may look great on paper, it's important to recognize that there's more to a relationship. The ability to meet your emotional needs is an essential trait that your significant other must possess. Most human beings tend to gravitate to the same basic necessities in relationships, such as attention, volition, connection, security, and independence, to name a few. However, each individual has different emotional needs and unique values, and every person also has their own strengths and weaknesses when it comes to meeting those needs for their partners. Expecting your partner to fulfill every single one of your emotional needs is unrealistic, especially if the relationship is new. But your partner should support you in the ways that matter most to you. If you're experiencing issues in your relationship, you might chalk it up to behavioral problems and move on. However, these problematic interactions are often triggered by unmet emotional needs. Here are 6 signs to watch out for. Number 1. You daydream often. It's normal to daydream about the future. You might think about the adventures you want to plan, the places you'd like.
Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR back in the building. We dropping jewels tonight. You know, this is a heavy topic. Coping with intimate disabilities. This ties into my thought process and the idea when I say we're all works in progress, right? We're all works in progress. So in a way, we're all relationally impaired to some degree. Some more than others. But we all have work to do. The caller before JW was talking about it was our guy Reggie from Austin, Texas, and we were talking about the attachment styles. And then I saw in the chat where Pretty Brown Mimi was basically saying she's not really familiar with the attachment styles. So there are 4 basic attachment styles, but I think there's sub-levels to those attachment styles, and I don't see them as monolithic. I don't see like, oh, you're this attachment. I think you kind of shift in and out of all of these styles, in my opinion. But based on your primary caregiver, now this is a concept that was created by a man by the name of John Bowlby. Then later Ainsworth comes in with the strange situation where it was an experiment with children, babies, leaving them in a room. The primary caregiver leaves, you observe how they act, and and this is how you ascertain what the attachment style is. Now, the attachment style is believed to be developed in early childhood and is influenced by your primary caregiver. Now, primary caregiver is just a catchword, in my opinion. That's mama, your mama. Okay, we're going to do that. Okay, so you have secure attachment, which, if you look at it in terms of this, secure attachment is this. Thoughts about oneself. If you're securely attached, you have positive thoughts about yourself. So these are the characteristics of secure attachment, okay? Healthy boundaries, mutual trust and support, controlled conflict management. That's a securely attached person, okay? I want you guys to pay attention to that. Then you have anxious, right? Anxious attachment. Fear of abandonment. That's me. A foster child. That's me, right? Fear of abandonment. Needs, validation, external validation. And will get a lot of self-worth and self-esteem from a partner who validates me. Now, when I was younger, I was really a mess, but as an adult and understanding where I started from, you understand, I'm able to have moments of secure attachment. I haven't mastered it yet. Then you have dismissive avoidant, right? Dismissive avoidant. And they even have a fifth one, which is disorganized. It's called disorganized. But dismissive avoidance, these are attachment styles. Avoids intimacy and vulnerability. Commitment issues. Guarded and closed off heart. That's the dismissive avoidant. Why? Because somewhere along their childhood, somebody missed a moment to validate a negative emotion that they had. Okay? Not a good emotion, a negative emotion. In other words, dismissive avoidance didn't get a chance to experience the full spectrum of how they can feel, because some emotions were accepted while others were not. And with that happening, the dismissive avoidant goes inside and starts to self-soothe, take care of themselves, love on themselves, right? They carry this into relationships. So typically they attract the anxious preoccupied. So the anxious preoccupied loves the dismissive avoidant because they're laid back and cool and chill, right? They love them. But when the dismissive pulls back, the anxious avoidant leans in. And leaning in feels like being chased to the dismissive avoidant. And the dismissive avoidant doesn't want to be chased. They don't want it to be fixed. They don't want you to help. They have grown up taking care of their own emotions. Whereas the anxious, preoccupied, can I help? How can I help? How can I fix it? Don't leave. Wait a minute. Where are you going? Hold tight. We can work it out. You see? The dismissive avoidant is like, that's too much. You're crowding me. I can take care of myself. You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And then finally, you have something called the fearful avoidant. Fear of rejection, hard time trusting and relying on a partner, and very low self-esteem. Needless to say, anxious, dismissive avoidant, fearful avoidant have a negative thought process about themselves. This is the attachment style. Now, I don't believe it as the gospel of Christ, but it is an interesting framework for you to look at what your attachment style just might be. When I come forward, we're talking about intimate disabilities. What are yours?
And they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home. Don't give up, keep fighting. As a man, our sun is our horizon, and our father's actions play a role, and we end up like them. So they can't let us see them hurt, because we'll embody what they do.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Dozens of protesters crowded the Decatur City Council meeting to demand a change in leadership. This comes as many express frustrations about the lack of transparency in the fatal officer-involved shooting of Stephen Perkins last month. Decatur Mayor Tab Bowling was noticeably absent from the meeting for the second consecutive week. Civil rights groups led by the North Alabama chapter of the NAACP have called for his resignation. Officials at financially troubled Birmingham Southern College are reporting a recent influx of private donations, raising enough funds to keep the school open through the spring semester of 2024. This comes as Republican Congressman Robert Adderholt announced that he's joining forces with Black Democratic Representative Terry Sewell to try and drum up more support for BSC. In a statement released, both lawmakers said keeping the school open and helping it to achieve financial stability is what's best for Alabama. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Southern California Edison. Make plans to stay safe in an emergency or a public safety power shutoff. Have a shared plan for you and your loved ones. Start today at sce.com/be prepared.
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Boldly taking talk radio where it has never gone before. New vistas, new voices, new views, new visions, new victories. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're taking public media black.
Meet LA's most affordable health plan. This open enrollment season, LA Care Covered is proud to offer the lowest cost health plans in Los Angeles County, featuring zero cost preventive services to help you achieve your wellness goals. Be part of the region's largest HMO network, featuring UCLA Health, Optum, and allied physicians without breaking the bank. We are here to help. Call us at 855-222-4239 for enrollment assistance. That's 855-222-4239. LA Care Covered. Your wellness, our mission.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
Joey from Vermont, a farmer trying to get through the winter. Adriana from South Carolina, a single mother living paycheck to paycheck. Liam from Ohio, an injured father struggling to provide for his family. Hi, I'm Shanola Hampton, and I support the Feeding America network of food banks because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Thinking about hosting a podcast and don't know where to start? Morris Media Studios has you covered. We're a professional podcast and voiceover studio located in Leimert Park. We specialize in recording and live streaming audio and video podcasts. Let us help you set up, record, and distribute your podcast. Hosting a podcast is a great way to bring awareness to your business, product, or good cause. For more info, visit morrismediastudios.com or give us a call at 323-815-4204.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of reason.
Yo, so I got this two-timing chick who got her revenge from when I was on my two-time tip. And even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get past how she was disrespected, neglected my effort, a pair with no trust, dirty games and affairs that been tearing us up. If things ain't picture perfect, is it really worth it? I have an idea, but I need to know for certain.
I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of reason.
The loneliest you'll ever feel is not when you're all alone. It's when you're in a relationship, but there's loneliness in the relationship. So you feel like you're in that relationship alone. Unfortunately, this is something more and more of us psychologists in the practicing field are seeing among our couples. Normally healthy couples are coming in and just saying, we're lonely. We just feel like, you know, we're not connected. We're not able to be there for each other. We're awkward when we're together. There's nothing to say. Sometimes our partner is terse or aggressive toward us. And I just feel alone in this marriage. Now, make no mistake, loneliness is universal and everybody feels lonely sometimes. But when you feel lonely constantly and you're in a relationship, that's a red flag that something is not going well. What I like about loneliness is it's a time that you can reflect and you actually can fix this issue and you can restore the marriage. But like all things, it takes your partner committed to the same goal, which is to add closeness. I'm going to go through several things that initiate or cause loneliness, because it doesn't happen all at once, as you can imagine. It happens over years. It's obsequious. It just sneaks in. And before you know it, you feel alone. And it has nothing to do with an empty nest, although that can make people feel alone for a while. But it has more to do that there's no connection, no spiritual, no emotional, no physical connection between the couple. And that's when you know you're alone in a marriage. And it feels even worse because when you go places, other couples are not that way. And you know it's abnormal. You know you used to not feel that way. Okay, here's what causes it. If one of the partners becomes bully or territory, they start terrorizing you. If you say something, they jump on it. And that causes you to be defensive or withdraw. And this is what happens with couples who are lonely. Instead of pulling together, they start pulling. They're antagonistic. They're working against each other. And that's not going to be helpful for the relationship. A strong desire for emotional support. If one of the partners wants emotional support and they know they're never going to get that from their partner, they begin being silent. They back away. They become more private in their matters. They're talking to other people. They don't rely on their partner anymore. A loss of physical touch. When's the last time you touched your partner? When's the last time you kissed them or had sex with them? When's the last time you went walking and held hands? If you don't do this anymore in your relationship, you may be finding signs of loneliness among the two of you. Insufficient time spent together. Like you don't value your time together. Something's always first. There's a time schedule. And if your partner and you do have a date, you're looking at your watch like, I got to get home and I got to get these reports in, or I got to finish this project. Today's the last day of the month. If you find that you're putting other things in front of your partner, then you can almost bet your partner's going to start feeling lonely and alone in this relationship.
Ooh, relationship disabilities. Wow. This topic got real deep real quick, didn't it? She was cooking. What was her name? Mary Jo Rabini? Rapidney. Heavy. That is a potent kind of loneliness when you got somebody, but you ain't got them. Sheesh. Coping with relationship disabilities, intimate disabilities. You could feel lonely by not being heard or having a sense of not being seen. We got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. Who's been on the longest? True Monger, Dallas, Texas. Get in here. What are your thoughts?
Man, just throughout the whole night, I've been hearing stuff that I've been guilty of and I've had done to me.
Yeah.
Feeling like you haven't been heard, like your feelings don't matter, like what's going on with you doesn't matter. So you do tend to get silent. And then you put your guard up and you feel like you can't open up with this person anymore for whatever reason. And things can go sideways real quick. You know? But we've all dealt with it to some degree. And that's where communication really plays a big role. At some point, either you're going to try to understand one another while you're together, or you're going to have to go your separate ways to figure out what's going on. And it might be a good thing for you to do that so you can reflect and figure out what's going on your end while you react the way you react and respond to certain things the way you respond to them. Right. Because at the end of the day, you got to be accountable for your actions. You can't always be accountable for your partner. Like you said, they may be going through things that you have no idea about.
And you're not even aware of it. Yeah.
Right. And they could be taking that out on you, and you don't know how to respond to it because you don't know where it's coming from.
Right. Heavy stuff.
And if you tend to try to dig and find out, they may get offended by that. Just because they may not be ready to even discuss it because they're still processing it.
Right.
Even though it may be years or decades after the fact. So you're almost, in some cases, you're almost in a lose-lose situation.
Right.
If you're not trying to work on it.
Yeah. Heavy stuff, man. What did you just do, True Monger? What did you just do?
Brought Dallas in the building.
Dallas, Texas is up in here with wisdom. Back to Krishnamurti. Relationship is a process of self-revelation, of self-knowledge. This self-revelation is painful, demanding constant adjustment, pliability of thought and emotion. It is a painful struggle with periods of enlightened peace. See, people want to play with you. Let me tell you why they want to play with you. They want to come into your life and enjoy the ease of your life, but they don't want to enjoy or don't seek to engage in the dis-ease of your life. People want to date a good time. They want to date something that is ephemeral. Don't you know a good time is like cotton candy? Soon as it touches your tongue, it evaporates. That's why we have a book called A Photo Album with Memories in it. You see, a good time does not last all the time. But a good relationship understands that it's good because it stood the test of time and everything that we've been through. See, people want to play with you. They want everything to be easy. But that's not the way life has it set up. Life has relationships set up to exacerbate your spirit for the process of spiritual maturity. The process of spiritual maturity comes from being rubbed the wrong way. Read it again. Relationship is a process of self-revelation, of self-knowledge. This revelation is painful, demanding constant adjustment, pliability of thought and emotion. It is a painful struggle with periods of enlightened peace. Don't you know the average person will throw away those periods of enlightened peace so they can stay in a space of quiet? They'll choose quiet over peace all day in America. Because quiet requires no work. It just requires you pulling the blinds down. It requires you turning the lights off. When we come forward, I'm going to Houston, Texas. Texas is in the building. Let's do it.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
The City of Los Angeles Civil Rights Department and its Reparations Advisory Commission are calling on you to be a part of something powerful. Join the Black Experience Study to share your experiences with the City of Los Angeles. We want to hear your stories. To join the study, join a focus group, or schedule an interview with us, visit www.blackexperiencela.com by December 31st. For more information, call 213-978-1845 or visit www.laisforeveryone.com.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
1 in 4 Americans today are living with a disability. I'm one of them. People with disabilities are extremely talented, resilient problem solvers that have so much to offer. And we've got a trusted ally on our side, an organization we can rely on, Easter Seals. Easter Seals is leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access to healthcare, employment, and education for people with disabilities, families, and communities. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours.
Learn more and get involved at easterseals.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you You want some more? More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Like, new, bang, hook up, big turn. Y'all know how to get, you know. All eyes on me. Roll up in the club. All eyes on me. All eyes on me. You know what? I bet you got it twisted, you don't know who to trust. So many player hating chickens wanna sound like us. Say they ready for the front, but I don't think they know it. Straight to the depths of hell is where them cowards going. Well, all you still down, nigga, holler when you see me. And let these
Classic Tupac, All Eyes on Me. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason back in the building. Heavy topic tonight, man. I hope I'm stretching your perspectives, man. You know, coping with intimate disabilities. What's yours? I said mine is not listening attentively enough. That's my relational disability. I get so distracted with so many other concerns and things going preoccupied, so many other things going on in my life that I tend to miss the emotional content of what's being said to me unless I'm really tapped in. I have to be tapped in. And, you know, it takes me a minute to get to that place because, you know, part of me is very guarded and it takes me a minute to get vulnerable and share. Attila from Houston, Texas, get in here and give us your thoughts on this topic as we wrap.
What's going on, Unc? How are you?
I'm good. I'm hanging in there.
All right. So
And you? And you? How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm well. A little tired, but you know, I was like, let me call my Unc.
Yep.
Yes, sir. But I wanted to kind of add something to when they're speaking about being lonely while you're in the relationship. Something that I struggle with, and I guess this is like my handicap, is loving through injury. And I'm not speaking about mortal injuries. I more so mean,
hurt.
You know, the minor ones.
Yeah, loving through hurt. That's common. Maybe that's our topic tomorrow.
Interesting. Well, I'm a person that retreats, so I'm definitely guilty of, you know, the stonewalling, everything that they kind of discussed. And I've seen it come up in two situations, different, one work, one relationship. And I think something that's been pivotal for me in trying to process those situations is that the role that I play in the situation is not lessened just because I was offended or just because I was treated correctly.
Let's do this tomorrow.
I'm down.
I await.
I'm already planning on writing one.
I await your 5 questions. Attila from Houston, Texas. She brought her town in the building. Listen, it's too late to bring your town in the building. The voice of reason has some things to share with you. We are all, to some degree, relationally impaired. But we are not permanently impaired. Right? We are not permanently impaired. Can I tell you something? You are all born with a solution in your spirit. In relationship, your significant other is the polar opposite of the solution that you carry in your spirit. The person comes into your life to ask your central nervous system, your inner child, your unrequited wounds, a question that is buried so deep within you that it is unbeknownst to your conscious mind. The great Krishnamurti put it this way: to ask the right question is far more important than to receive the answer. The solution of a problem lies in the understanding of the problem. The answer is not outside the problem, it is in the problem. So the problem comes into your life, and instead of saying, The answer in me called in the problem. The solution in me called in the problem so that I can reconcile it from the inside out. This is why relationship is so important. But we preempt our lesson, because we have free will. We have the power to say, you know what, I didn't sign up for this. You know what, I thought this was going to be that, and it wasn't that, and it turned into this, so now I don't have an affinity for you anymore. So I'm going to start this lesson over. But Krishnamurti hits you in the face again and says, but inwardly, we are as corrupt as the person who sits in office and plans wars. Because we want to be somebody in the family, in the group, in society, in the nation. We want to be acknowledged by the outside toxicity. So you now have to ask yourself the real question. Right? Have your intimate disabilities become a part of your identity? They don't have to be. They're there for you to heal. They're there for you to reconcile. They're there to help you level up spiritually. I know we want our relationships to be easy and comfortable and free and all of that, but that's just not how they're set up. Do you understand? They're set up to push you. And I need you to understand that. I need you to accept that. Right? Please accept that. Right? Most people have lost that relationship with nature. They look at those mountains, valleys, the streams, and the thousands of trees as they pass by in their cars or walk up the hills chattering. But they are too absorbed in their own problems to look and be at peace. We're afraid to do that with our wounds. How you want to be seen and you won't look at your wounds? How you want to be heard and you won't hear the cries of your own unresolved issues? You call in a person who is ignorant to those cries as well. Listen, I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'll be back tomorrow with another slapper. And guess what? Jill Monroe, RSVP with Jill Monroe up next to keep the fire lit. I'll holla later. Deuces.